much as I don't want to make this video, yeah, the motor is blown. 100% use air.
Every single week, it seems like another VR30 is ending up like the submarine that went to see the Titanic. All these VR30s are blowing up every single week. I know in his video, he's not blaming the tuner. He's mainly blaming himself as a person for not maintaining and paying attention to the car. But me personally, I don't think that was the issue. I feel like it was the issue. The issue was like probably 70% the engine and 30% the person driving the car. Well, as you already know, these cars have a bunch of different issues, like crankcase issues, porous block issues, oil solenoid issues, and the turbo seals issues, bearing issues. Like there's just so many different failure points that these cars could blow up from, right? So it could mainly just be the car just trying to give out. Like, and if he wasn't monitoring the logs with the oil pressure bugging out, that could lead to blowing up without any sort of maintenance. And it could have just blown up regardless if you check the oil pressure or whatever, because it might have been like porous block or something where even if you do change the oil, you're still leaking coolant inside of your mixing with coolant with your oil. So regardless, you're gonna end up having less lubrication into your engine and your turbocharger. If you have less lubrication in your engine, you'll blow your motor. If you have less lubrication in your turbo, you'll blow your motor. Like, there's so many different parts of the engine, like I said before, that could blow if you don't have any sort of lubrication in it. He has two options now, and why it's so important to look at his story is because this is not only happening to him, this is happening to a bunch of other people, and this could happen to you in the long run. So his option one is to get a new engine, keep driving the car. His option two is to sell the car the way it is blown. Honestly, if he was to get a new engine, it is going to cost a lot of money. As you know, if you go on eBay and everything, you'll see that these engines cost like $5,000. And the install is going to be like around $2,000 to $3,000. So you're already going to be like around $7,000 down. Yeah, that's going to bite your wallet. But after that, he could sell it and lose another. If he sells it, he'll lose the $7,000. But it's gonna be easier to sell because he has a new engine in it and the car's running. But if you try to sell that as is, you're gonna have to sell it for like $7,000 less, whatever the price is. So regardless, it's like he's losing like $7,000, around $7,000 or less, around there. All right. I'm not saying it's gonna cost $7,000 to fix it or whatever, depending on whatever resource they have. So you can get an engine for $2,000, wherever you find your parts for a cheaper price. You can go ahead and do that. But I'm just using a honest guess how much it's going to cost, all right? And there's nothing wrong with him going to a vet. It's a reliable LS. It's different problems, but it's more reliable. There's no problem with him going to a different car. He's young. I'm young. There's no problem with switching out to different cars. That's just how this life goes. You don't end up with the same car for the rest of your life. Me personally, if I could find a buyer for my Q, I would sell it. And you know what I would get? I would get a manual G37 coupe. Not a 370Z because I'm scared of somebody rear-ending me. Definitely like a manual G37 coupe. I want a stick. I would sell my VR30 night and day for a stick. And make sure you show support to his page. He puts a lot of useful content, and that content is very helpful if you have a Q50 because, again, you never know if that might end up being you. You might have some lesson to learn off of him. But yeah, stay tuned on this page as well for more content. Put more content every day. Comment any questions or concerns. Thank you and have a great day.